Hello, Taurus, and welcome. I'm Adriana. I'm a soul guidance coach, and I help you choose growth and the healing of your inner roots. Today, I've got an intuitive reading for you about your spiritual journey this week. I'm using a slightly different deck than usual. This is the Druid Craft deck. So let's see what comes up with your message. Oh my, we have the Chariot for your energy this week. Wow, this is such a powerful card for you, coming straight away at the top of the reading. We were talking about forward movement that is divinely guided and fast forward movement, really, really fast. Kind of like being on the highway and all the lanes are open. There's no cars in the way and you can go as fast as you want. I'm not condoning that, but I'm saying that's what this energy is like. And it's as if you're not really driving the chariot right now. It's being driven by another source. It's being either driven by your guides, it's being driven by perhaps your protective angels, it's being driven by something outside of you. And all you really have to do is maintain your balance, keep yourself upright. I want to say that this energy is so fast moving that it may feel like, oh my God, how can I keep my bearings? You know, maybe the wind is going too fast or something. But this is about just staying aligned, in alignment, and allowing things to unfold and work themselves out quickly. All right. Okay, I'm really curious about these other cards. Okay, let's see. Are we going forward or backward? Energy that will hold you backward, the Star. Interesting. Now, because we've got that, I want to contrast with forward. What's going to help us go forward? Okay, all right. So what I was talking about, keeping balance, Taurus, this has a lot to do with keeping your emotional balance. This Star is so naked and vulnerable and surrounded by water. There's so much water on this card. And in this position, I'm feeling for you that the emotions and everything could very easily go out of control. Like they could flow everywhere, which is very unusual for Taurus, okay? But this is talking about, there's something about this chariot energy that's going to move you so fast. A lot of these changes may take you by surprise or shock you, and they may be asking you for shifts and changes. Hang on, I want to quick do some math. So we've got 17, which is an 8, and the Chariot is a 7. Okay, that doesn't help my cause, so I'll just drop that argument. All right, sometimes the numbers speak to me too, but we've got something different happening here. We've got the idea of progression. So back to what I was saying, that some of these changes and shifts will happen so quickly that it's the change that will cause the emotion to come up. The fact that there is a change will cause the emotion to come up, not necessarily the reality of what's happening, but just the fact that there is a change. It's kind of like, oh my God. So Taurus, we come to then the King of Swords. And I love this because this is a nighttime card. This is a very strong daylight. And we can see the background, that lovely blue and yellow blended in her background like a nimbus, you know, or like a starburst, not a nimbus, a starburst. This is talking about staying out of the shadow, staying out of what doesn't seem clear, staying out of those places where you feel really vulnerable and emotional, because they're kind of missing the point. Okay, our King of Swords here is asking you to look at everything with a bigger vision, a longer vision, to keep very cool-headed, to keep very rational, and to accept the possibility of even more divine guidance. She's got her, what is that? It's a pole upwards, and then he's got a sword that's receiving. And when we have that upward pointing sword, that's talking about receiving divine guidance. Okay, coming down from above rather than us planting into the ground when the sword goes down. This is receiving. And in order to receive, there has to be a more level-headed, logical, objective approach. And normally, Taurus, this is not a problem for you, but there's something about the quickness of this chariot which may trigger feelings of vulnerability, feelings of insecurity, feelings of the emotions just going crazy. So we need to stay aligned in our truth. We need to stay aligned in our bigger vision and not get caught up in the little things that might be breaking along the way to a bigger vision. It would be like if every time a chick would, like, from the inside is cracking at the egg, it would be like the egg crying every time there's a little bit of a crack or a chink in it, right? But the thing is, the egg has to understand that its role was done. It has to fall away so that this new life can come out. And I know that seems really, really nebulous, Taurus, but it's about allowing things to fall away that need to fall away so that you can emerge, and not getting so lost in what's falling away, but getting more excited about what's emerging. All right, let's get a little more story for you. 9 of Wands and the Moon. All right, now they're giving us that same message again, because this is either deep or stubborn with you. We have the 9 of Wands who's refusing to yield his position, but he's staring at the moon, where we're looking at illusion and delusion and not seeing things clearly. Again, another emotional card. Look at all of our water again with our card. You know what's so funny is these are so dry by comparison, right? There's no water at all. In fact, this guy's in the middle of a fire. So you see how we're kind of fighting dry land and emotions this week. So Taurus, your stubbornness to stay in the emotions, or your stubbornness to refuse to look at the bigger picture, that is going to get in your way this week if you allow it. If you can release and say, all right, I'm looking big. I'm not looking down at my feet. I'm looking out in the distance where I'm going, where this is going, and I'm going to keep my eyes looking there. You can bypass a lot of this emotional upheaval. Because the emotional upheaval that is plaguing you, I will say plaguing you, is not healing or cathartic. It is a resistance to change. It is a fear of what the change will bring. And in that fear, you are not being served, Taurus. So you've got to drop that fear and start to look with anticipation and excitement about the future and the clear highway that is opening up for your future. All right, Taurus, thank you so much for joining me. These readings are so fun, and I really look forward to seeing you here next week. If you're curious to learn about what else I do and how I'm working to help people come even closer in alignment with their souls and their divine purpose, please check out my website, Soul Guidance with Adriana. There's more information below. I will look forward to seeing you next time. Have a good one.